Hey everyone, so what do you know, I got another update and it's only been 2 days since the last video, so God knows when this is actually gonna come out with all the updates that we're implementing. And we added a scanner. So this is a scanner which scans SIA and EVA over the last 60 days. So it scans all the coins that are on the Bybit futures, and it shows up the best performing coins with the strategy. So right now I started it and it's scanning all the 548 pairs on Bybit, and it's gonna show you the top best performing coins if you used SIA in the last 2 months. So this takes a while. I might just cut the video off here and come back till it continues. Okay, so it finished the scan. And here we can see if we had SIA running on ARC for the past 2 months, and this is not the auto-optimized settings, this is on default. So technically you could get even better results if you fiddle around with the leverage and stop losses, but you would get a 1000% returns based off of 51 trades that SIA made for ARC. The second one is CHEMS, whatever, 338%, Pixel 304, and so on. And if we, let's just clear this, if we run EVA, and while EVA is running, I just wanna maybe explain a couple of things around why I think this is maybe not such a great idea. So I like to use the terminology that trading is very similar to gambling. So trading in the casino are there's a very thin line between the two. So let's say you're just longing pumps and shorting dumps when it comes to trading. It's the same if you go to the live roulette table and you're just picking coin. It's the same if you're playing the live roulette table. It's the same thing. There's no statistics behind it. It's purely speculative. It's just gambling. But if you go play the blackjack, if you go play by the blackjack table, that's where you can start to give yourself an edge. Because with blackjack you have the basic strategy and you can count cards. And if you're just playing blackjack without basic strategy or counting cards, it's the same if you're playing the live roulette table, right? So just randomly longing the pumps, shorting the dumps, or other way around. But if you implement basic strategy into the blackjack, that's where you start, alright, drawing resistance lines, breakout patterns, maybe using the volume, giving yourself a little bit of an edge over the market. But if you start counting cards on top of the basic strategy, that's when you're using PulseTrend. Right? So PulseTrend is your blackjack card counter to give yourself that extra edge over the casino, right? And so all of the things that you have here, it's still, you make the decision, right? So when you open up the dashboard, you see, all right, the current trend, how's it looking? And then you pull the trigger if you're gonna enter that trade, and of course the right risk management. Even when you're counting cards, you gotta have the right risk management, right? And yeah, so, and when we look at the bots, so when we look at Nova, right, Nova still fits in that counting cards category. You still know, all right, do I turn on Nova right now or I don't? Does the market look like it's gonna go sideways? You still have to make the decision if you're gonna be using Nova. And the meter that's alongside Nova, that meter kind of tells you, all right, is the count plus or is it in the negative? So do you have an edge over the casino right now if the count is plus 14, plus 15 when you're counting cards? That means you have the edge. If it's below 0, that means the casinos have the edge. So Nova still fits in that category, but when you look at CI and EVA, right? So as I showed you with EVA, when you see that 1000% in the last 2 months, that's when you can look at it that when you're playing blackjack for like 4 hours and then the floor manager comes to you and whispers in your ear, hey man, if you go to the slot machine in the corner, it's gonna give you a jackpot if you're gonna start playing it, right? It's the same thing, right? So it doesn't really, I don't know, I mean, I'm an advocate when something's too good to be true, it usually is, right? But as I stated, right, so past results don't guarantee same future results. Okay, so these are the EVA results. So EVA, if you had EVA opened on MEXC over the last 6 months, you would be 76% in profit, 31% in profit for PTB, so 458 trades. So yeah, but like I said, when it comes to EVA, it's more of a set and forget. Now CI is also strong, but they follow the basic bot formula. They don't align with the market. They use the same strategy all the time, so they don't, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't align with the market conditions, but they still perform really well. It's made to be as close as to the market volatility and protect your trades as close as possible. And when you look at these results, that means it's working, right? 2 months is especially how the market has been behaving for the last 2 months, and even with MEXC. So we in profit with MEXC when it was constantly dumping. It was just constantly dumping over the last 2 months. You had some spikes, but it still traded it as it should. So these top 10s, some better than others, but with CI, as you saw, the results are just wow. And so then you think maybe some people might get the wrong idea. So when they look at those results, you just open up the dashboard, you're running the top 10, and then you just go into these coins and see, oh, look at this, 460, all right, just add, leave them running. I'm in the money, which is possible. I'm not gonna say it's possible for future results, but when you look at these curvatures, okay, you can see a nice look, and then start to gradually here. This is this is a much nicer one, right? So there were no big swings. It stayed in this range, and it's a nice, lovely curvature with pixel. Nothing special, but then just a big spike on pixel here, right? So this means that there was a big move that happened, and it went along nicely. So yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not sure if we're gonna keep this scanner in because it might give people the wrong idea. I mean, I even talked about maybe just removing EVA and CI altogether because I just don't see them fitting with this kind of thing correctly. Nova is fine. Nova is perfect. Nova is a great bot and it works. EVA and CI, I mean, CI uses the indicators. It uses the PulseTrend indicator. But maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just my mindset because I don't trust this kind of things. But who knows? Who knows? That's why we're gonna keep testing it. That's why we're gonna wait. I'm gonna be running. I'm gonna be testing it very, very closely until I'm sure, for sure, this is right. And all right. So yeah, that's it for now. Maybe I'll make another update tomorrow in 2 days. We'll see. But thank you for now. Bye bye.